As we continue with the story of the women in Jesus' family tree, today and tomorrow, I'll be sharing a bit about Bathsheba. And in your Bible, you might want to turn to 2 Samuel chapter 11. I encourage you to read the whole chapter. But the background of the story is that there are some sordid things that take place. And 2 Samuel doesn't shy away from talking about them. It's interesting, if you look in your Bible, for example, in 1 Chronicles chapter 20, it totally glosses over the sin that David committed against Bathsheba and Uriah. And 2 Samuel lays it bare. And I give 2 Samuel credit for doing that. Really interesting verse that starts the chapter is, in the spring of the year, the time when kings go out to battle, David sent Joab with his officers and all Israel with him. They ravaged the Ammonites and besieged Rabbah, but David remained at Jerusalem. So that opening verse tells us a lot. If you think of Psalms like Psalm 18, for example, where David goes off about how the Lord is my rock and my fortress, and how, I can leap over a wall, and it's very warrior descriptive, and David, is a great warrior and fighter, but what is he doing? He's no longer a fighter. He's sending other people out to do his fighting for him, and he's sitting at home in safety, bored, and that's when the trouble starts, because he's not where he should be, in the field, fighting and leading his men. So right in the first verse of the chapter, we hear why something bad's going to happen. And verse 2 starts, "It happened late one afternoon." And David sees Bathsheba, and as a Middle Eastern monarch, has her brought and sexually assaults her, frankly. A lot of Christian interpretation of this passage done by men, makes it look like Bathsheba was like tempting David or something. She's doing the ritual purification, most likely. She's just minding her own business. Her husband's off fighting for David. And as you heard in my sermon last Sunday, Uriah is this man of courage and honor and integrity and valor. He won't lie with his wife and be intimate with her when his comrades are in the field. David ends up having him killed. And then our verses for the day at the end of the chapter is, when the wife of Uriah heard that her husband was dead, she made lamentation for him. When the mourning was over, David sent and brought her to his house, and she became his wife and bore him a son. So you have this clear condemnation, if you will, by the author of 2 Samuel of poor Bathsheba. Your husband's killed, you've been assaulted by the king, and now you're brought into his house. Tomorrow we'll continue the story.